In a dim, eerie morgue, flickering lights cast an unsettling glow as Art the Clown springs back to life. With a twisted grin, he slashes the throat of a terrified medical examiner and takes an eye and part of the brain to fix himself. After completing his gruesome resurrection, Art heads to a laundromat to clean his blood-soaked costume. There, he spots a ghostly pale little clown girl who seems to share his dark joy. He starts a creepy game of pat-a-cake with her. The noise awakens another customer, who is horrified to find Art playing alone. Without hesitation, Art silences him, then calmly puts on clean clothes before vanishing into the night. As Halloween approaches nearly a year later, Sienna is still grieving her father's death. She throws herself into making a fierce angel warrior costume inspired by his artwork. Meanwhile, her younger brother Jonathan becomes obsessed with darker things and plans to dress as Art the Clown. Tension builds when their mother Barbara forbids him, sensing something is off. But Jonathan's fascination with Art and the Miles County Massacre might be more than just curiosity. It could be a dark warning. One night, Sienna falls asleep while working late on her angel warrior costume, the TV playing softly in the background. In her dream, she is pulled into a strange commercial for a clown cafe, which seems cheerful at first. A girl in a clown outfit introduces a special guest, Art the Clown. He hands out candy to everyone, but when he gives Sienna a mysterious box, she feels something is wrong. When she opens it, she finds a heart crawling with maggots. Suddenly, Art pulls out a Tommy gun and starts attacking everyone with sadistic joy. Then he switches to a flamethrower, setting everything on fire. Sienna spots her father's sword and grabs it to protect herself from the flames. Just then, she wakes up in her room, which is on fire. Her mother rushes in to put out the flames and blames Sienna for the chaos. But as Sienna looks around, she notices her father's sword is untouched, as if it holds some mysterious power. While Art prepares his tools for another night of terror, the clown girl watches a TV broadcast where Vicky, a survivor of the Miles County Massacre, declares Art dead. Furious, Art smashes the TV. At school, rumors about Vicky's violent outburst against her interviewer spread quickly. Sienna suffers a panic attack upon hearing this news from her close friends Brooke and Allie, who do their best to comfort her. Meanwhile, Jonathan encounters his own brush with horror. At his school, he sees Art playing with the corpse of an opossum, the twisted clown taunting him. Even more terrifying, Jonathan can see the clown girl too. When he tries to explain what he saw, no one believes him. Instead, he is framed for bringing the opossum to school and gets grounded by his mother. Later, at a Halloween store, Sienna has a chilling encounter with Art. Although he doesn't attack her, at least not yet, she leaves the store feeling uneasy. Unfortunately, the store clerk isn't so lucky. After Sienna leaves, Art locks the door and brutally kills the clerk, leaving the severed head on display as a gruesome Halloween decoration. Jonathan tries to tell Sienna that he saw Art the Clown and believes Art was behind the opossum incident, but no one takes him seriously. He shows Sienna their father's sketchbook, filled with disturbing drawings of Art, the warrior angel, and scenes that eerily hint at their dark future. While Sienna initially doubts that their dad predicted Art's arrival, she later tells their mom that she believes Jonathan didn't bring the opossum corpse to school. As Halloween night arrives, Sienna takes a shower and puts on her angel warrior costume. Barbara isn't thrilled about how revealing it is, but she admits it's well made and would have made their dad proud. Sienna heads to a club to meet her friends, Brooke and Allie. But the night takes a horrific turn for Allie. Home alone, Allie becomes Art's next victim. His cruelty has no limits as he tortures her, leaving her barely clinging to life. When her mother returns, she walks into a scene of pure horror. Art, laughing maniacally, uses her severed head as a candy bowl for trick-or-treaters. Tensions rise between Barbara and Jonathan over the opossum incident and his obsession with Art. Frustrated, Barbara slaps Jonathan and tears up their dad's sketchbook. Enraged, Jonathan storms out, damaging the family car, which leads Barbara to call Sienna. After a heartfelt conversation, Sienna defends her brother, managing to calm their mother down. While walking, Jonathan spots the eerie clown girl and races home in terror. Meanwhile, as Barbara cleans the vandalized car, she's horrified to find Art the Clown grinning from the driver's seat. Without warning, he blasts her in the face with a sawed-off shotgun, killing her instantly. When Jonathan arrives, he's met with a grotesque sight, Art feeding mashed potatoes to his mother's lifeless body. Panicked, Jonathan tries to escape, but Art catches him, drugs him, and drags him away. As he leaves, Art also takes Sienna's sword, claiming it as his next twisted trophy. On the drive home, Brooke is tense and upset with Sienna. Then, Sienna gets a scary call from someone pretending to be Jonathan, telling her to come to an abandoned fairground. As they get closer, a creepy feeling fills the air. Once there, Sienna insists on searching for Jonathan alone. The creepy clown girl sends another text from Jonathan's phone, leading Sienna to a haunted funhouse called the Terrifier. Brooke's boyfriend steps outside to relieve himself, but Art strikes fast, tearing off his genitals. Brooke's fate is even worse. Art hunts her through the funhouse, leaving her body horribly mutilated. Sienna, hearing Brooke's desperate screams, finds her friend's mangled body and is overwhelmed by horror. Before she can react, Art appears, forcing her into a fight. Jonathan, now awake, finds them, but Sienna buys him time by stabbing Art in the foot. Jonathan escapes, but Sienna is no match for the relentless clown, and Art knocks her out cold. Art catches up to Jonathan just as he reaches the exit, slicing him with a scalpel and knocking him down. Meanwhile, Sienna regains consciousness, sneaks up on Art, and drives a sharp weapon deep into his head, slowing him down for a moment. The siblings run into a hall that looks like a church, but Art follows them with a sling covered in razor blades, cutting them both deeply. Desperate to protect Jonathan, Sienna's instincts kick in. When Art attacks again, she catches his razor-sharp blades with her bare hands, fire blazing in her eyes. With the spirit of a warrior, she grabs Art's weapon and strikes back, stabbing him in the head with a metal rod torn from the church decor. For a moment, she thinks the nightmare is over, but as she turns to her brother, Art rises again, overpowering her and wrapping his hands around her throat. Jonathan, desperate to save her, spots a sawed-off shotgun strapped to Art's leg. Acting quickly, he fires, blasting Art away and freeing Sienna. Though momentarily safe, Sienna collapses, weakened by blood loss, her battle seemingly over. Sienna wakes up to see her mother beside her and feels a wave of relief, hugging her tightly and saying how glad she is that her mom is safe. But Jonathan's voice suddenly cuts through the moment with a chilling warning. "Get away from her, that's not Mom." In horror, Sienna realizes it's actually the clown girl, disguised as her mother. The girl touches Sienna's face, and a terrifying vision flashes before her eyes, showing her real mother's brutal death at Art's hands. Heartbroken, Sienna snaps back to reality, only to find Jonathan missing. She looks around and sees Art standing over an unconscious Jonathan. Desperate, Sienna tries to fight, but she's too weak, no match for the relentless clown. Art easily lifts her and throws her into a dark pit. She crashes down hard, her body sprawled in a pose like a fallen warrior angel, her strength fading as darkness closes in. Sienna struggles to her feet, facing a nightmare, a pit spewing red mist with eerie voices calling her name. The sounds send chills through her, as if the pit is made from her worst fears. Before she can react, Art steps out of the shadows, grinning wickedly. Holding her father's sword, he stabs Sienna, the pain burning through her. Smiling in triumph, Art throws her into the pit, her body falling into the darkness. He tosses the sword in after her, then turns his attention to the unconscious Jonathan, ready to finish him off. Sienna finds herself trapped in the creepy clown cafe from her nightmare, stuck in a water tank and slowly losing consciousness. Meanwhile, Jonathan wakes up to the horrifying sight of Art gnawing on his hand. Desperate, he calls out for Sienna, but she can't save him. Just when it seems all hope is lost, the sword their father left behind begins to glow, pulsing with mysterious energy. Feeling their danger, the sword brings Sienna back to life. Awakening just in time, she breaks free from the clown cafe's hold, determined to finish what she started. Grabbing the glowing sword, Sienna charges at Art with newfound strength. In one final strike, she decapitates Art, fulfilling the prophecy drawn by her father. Even though the battle is over, the victory feels bittersweet. The creepy clown girl appears, silently picking up Art's severed head before disappearing into the night, leaving a chilling reminder that the nightmare might not be finished. In the uneasy quiet after the chaos, two orderlies at a mental hospital talk about their infamous patient, Vicky. The female orderly shares her disgust at Vicky's disfigured face, but mentions that Vicky has been surprisingly cooperative despite her brutal attack on a TV host. However, something horrifying is stirring beneath the surface. Inside her room, Vicky undergoes a horrifying transformation, bleeding heavily as she smears a bloody love note to Art on the wall. Moments later, she gives birth to something unimaginable. As the female orderly makes her rounds, she hears strange voices coming from Vicky's room. Curious but uneasy, she opens the door, only to be faced with a nightmare. Vicky cradles Art's decapitated head, which is still alive and grinning wickedly. The orderly's scream echoes through the hospital halls, a chilling reminder that the nightmare is far from over, and the story concludes. Stay tuned for part 3 of this movie, coming soon. Don't forget to like, share, and comment, and hit the bell icon for notifications.